before the backdrop of China increasingly exerting pressure and provoking Taiwan. The United States has made efforts to pull its Asian allies to stand on the same front line with it, preparing for the worst situation so far. Japan and Australia have quite similar views. They consider the Taiwan issue directly related to their security and may participate. However, South Korea, a close ally of the US, remains quite silent, even avoiding discussing issues related to the Taiwan Strait and afraid of offending China. Korea does not want to confront China directly and publicly on the issue of the Taiwan Strait, for a very simple reason. Beijing is currently their largest trading partner, so they need to avoid conflicts to maintain their business relationship. Although an ally of the US, they have no reason to provoke hatred with China. Participating in a war means bloodshed and economic damage. Why get involved? There is a humorous way of thinking. In reality, Korea has an unavoidable reason, so it cannot declare standing with the US right now. Specifically, although they have a very strong military, if compared, they lose to North Korea in terms of nuclear missile capabilities and artillery forces. So thinking about soloing always makes them feel chilly, while North Korea always harbors ambitions to unify the country. As soon as there is an opportunity, they will provoke again. For example, since Russia attacked Ukraine in February 2022, causing the United States to be drawn into the war and paying less attention to South Korea. North Korea has conducted monthly missile tests with increasing numbers and frequency compared to previous years. South Korea is very afraid that a sudden attack could happen, so they have focused on developing plans to deal with it called the Three-Axis Defense System. Basically, it includes 3 combat steps. Option 1 is to strike at military bases containing nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles of North Korea if signs of Pyongyang preparing for an attack are detected. This will be done by collecting intelligence information, developing accurate satellite systems and high-precision weapons. Option 2. If the strike fails, early warning radar will detect missiles flying towards targets, allowing interceptors before they reach their targets. However, it is easy to say but difficult to do. North Korean ballistic missiles are very sophisticated. For example, HWASONG-8 has supersonic speed, low flight range and high mobility in the final stage, making it very difficult to intercept. So far, South Korea has not found an effective way to deal with it. Option 3. If North Korea successfully targets South Korean facilities, they will retaliate by attacking the leadership of Pyongyang, including Chairman Kim Jong-un, with plans targeting hiding places and potential military bunkers while destroying North Korea's command structure. The weapon used is the K-239 rocket system with a range of 300 kilometers. The underground device GBU-28 can penetrate enemy military bunkers up to 6 meters deep in concrete. The AGM-84H cruise missile has the ability to accurately attack from the air at a maximum distance of 280 kilometers. This plan is good, but determining where North Korean leaders are hiding is a difficult task that requires accurate intelligence information. Otherwise, it will waste ammunition without results. In summary, in order to complete the three-axis system, South Korea may take 5 years or 10 years or even 20 years more. Therefore, their security is only guaranteed by closely allying with the United States for now, meaning that they are dependent. So, if war breaks out in the Taiwan Strait, South Korea will have to stand on the same front line with the US if requested. Otherwise, okay, just sit there and deal with North Korea alone. In reality, it is unlikely that the United States would directly request South Korea's involvement. Instead, South Korea would serve as a defensive line and logistical support. The key reason for this is that if a war were to occur in Taiwan, the United States would want to concentrate all its resources to ensure victory, including air and ground forces stationed in South Korea. This approach has been mentioned by the U.S. military command in South Korea. At that time, North Korea could take advantage of the opportunity to launch a war for reunification if South Korea participates in Taiwan's conflict. The South Korean military would be weakened and unable to respond effectively. Another possibility is that North Korea would not launch a real attack but would follow the advice of its ally, China, by amassing troops near the border. Meanwhile, the conflict in the Taiwan Strait would be extremely intense, and the United States would not be able to divide its forces on 2 fronts. Therefore, the most logical choice would be for South Korea to focus on defense against the potential threat from the north. This also implies that in the event of a war in the Taiwan Strait, the US would be forced to abandon its unilateral resolution of the situation or provide very limited support to its ally, South Korea. Furthermore, there are two negative possibilities if the US deploys a large force to South Korea to participate in the conflict in Taiwan. China could retaliate by launching missiles into South Korean territory, turning it into a whirlwind and forcing Seoul into the conflict, increasing the risk of being attacked from the north. The second possibility is that North Korea, as a treaty ally of China, fully supports the reunification of Taiwan. If they are deluded and choose to participate in the conflict, the intensity of the war will reach a new level. Not to mention, a confrontation between the US and China, with bloodshed and weapons involved, would be more brutal than any war in history due to the possibility of nuclear use and the end of the world. Therefore, the best approach is to completely prevent the occurrence of a war in Taiwan. Everything the US is currently doing, such as using diplomatic pressure or enhancing security cooperation with allies, is aimed at deterring China with the hope that Beijing will not make any mistakes. They do not want to provoke a war, as some people may imagine. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye and see you again.